Imagine pouring literally every ounce of your strength, like your absolute will to live, into one desperate attack.
Right. And your opponent just, well, their only reaction is sheer boredom.
It is so chilling. So, today we are bringing you part one of a strict two-part deep dive. We are taking you chronologically through pages 1 through 10 of an incredibly tense story.
Yeah. Specifically, Chapter 2, The Lesson of Weakness. It is basically a masterclass in psychological warfare.
It really is. So we are dropping you right onto Planet Chart.
Oh, man, yeah. It is this desolate, heavily cratered plateau.
And the stakes here for the characters are immediately, like, suffocatingly high. Okay, let's unpack this. We open on Parslee, right?
Yeah, our Saiyan warrior.
Exactly. She is at the bottom of a crater, bleeding. Her clothes are just shredded.
She has already been completely beaten down.
Yeah.
And standing over her is Gore-Shash.
The villain of the piece.
Right, this towering demon. He has these prominent horns and a dark cape. But the most terrifying thing is actually his posture.
He is completely still.
Yes. Just standing there, literally taunting Parslee by asking if she's just taking a nap.
Which naturally means she refuses to quit. I mean, she gasps for air and lunges at him with literally everything she has left.
And he still does not even shift his weight.
No, he just raises one hand, and this dark energy shockwave violently throws her back into a jagged stone pillar. It is so effortless.
Right. He absorbs and deflects her maximum effort without even anchoring his feet.
It is like swatting away a pesky mosquito. But wait, I have to push back here. Is Gore-Shash actually being strategic by staying so still, or is he just, full of classic villain arrogance?
That is a really great question.
Because if he is really that powerful, why not just finish her off immediately?
Well, what's fascinating here is that the stillness is the strategy.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, by not taking a defensive stance at all, he is illustrating this total chilling power gap.
Right, showing her that she does not even warrant any actual effort.
Exactly. He is not just beating her physical body, he is trying to crush her entire reality.
Which means, since physical attacks are entirely useless now, the only way the scene can escalate is psychologically.
And that causality brings us to Panko.
Yes. Just as Parslee slides to the ground, Panko, this small, glowing, light-based child, sprints over the horizon right into the danger zone.
With tears in his eyes, begging her to stop fighting.
Yeah.
And you can instantly feel Parslee's absolute terror.
Oh, completely. She is paralyzed on the ground, screaming at Panko to run away.
But he slogs to a stop right between them. Right between the battered Cyan and this giant demon.
And there is this a vivid visual detail here that I just love. Panko is standing his ground, but he is shaking violently.
Yeah, because he is a light-based being, right?
Exactly. So his aura is literally dimming and flickering from sheer terror. It perfectly externalizes that internal fear for you as the reader.
It really does. If you have ever felt completely outmatched but forced yourself to stand your ground anyway, you know exactly what that dimming light represents.
And despite that terror, he delivers this incredibly defiant line. He says, "I don't need to be a warrior to know when to stand in the way of a monster."
It is such a powerful moment. But here is where it gets really dark.
Yeah, you would think a villain might be enraged by that, or maybe even gain a tiny ounce of respect for the kid's bravery.
But Gore-Shash, he just chuckles.
It is so dismissive.
Because to him, bravery without power is just a joke. He delivers this cruel lesson saying, you think this makes you a hero. It just makes you a target.
And then he hits Panko's shoulder with just a simple finger flick blast.
Sending him tumbling through the dirt.
And Parslee is clawing at the earth, right? She is screaming, desperately trying to move her legs to protect him.
But her nervous system is totally fried. Her body just will not obey her.
Which leads us to the excruciating climax on page 10.
Right. Gore-Shash lifts Panko entirely off the ground by his collar with just one hand.
And he delivers that final, devastating line. Look at her, Panko. She watches you suffer because she is too weak to save you.
It is so brutal. Because this is no longer a physical battle. That was over on page 1.
Right.
This sequence is pure psychological warfare. He realizes he cannot break Parslee's spirit through her own physical pain.
Because she is a warrior, she can handle that.
Exactly. So he breaks her by forcing her to watch someone she loves suffer, all because of her own physical failure.
So what does this all mean? Well, we are going to have to leave you hanging.
We really are.
Because the story explicitly breaks right here. With Panko trapped in Gore-Shash's cruel grip, we are deliberately stopping at the edge of this cliff.
It is a really brutal place to pause.
Yeah.
But it forces us to actually sit with the chapter's title, the lesson of weakness.
Definitely. So I want to leave you with a final thought to mull over until our next session. Is this lesson of weakness really about Parslee's lack of physical power? Or is Gore-Shash actually weaponizing the inherent vulnerability that comes with loving someone else?
Oh, that is a fantastic question.
Does having something to protect make you stronger, or does it just give the monsters a bigger target? Hold on to that thought. We will see you for part 2 of this deep dive. Welcome back to part 2 of our strict 2-part audio drama deep dive. You know, we left you right on the edge of your seat last time.
Well, we really did. And today we are picking up immediately from page 11, and we're going to cover everything through page 20 chronologically.
Yeah, exactly. And we're deliberately gonna stretch and really expand on the dialogue pacing today. This epic conclusion feels so weighty, we need to make sure we give it the exact time it deserves.
Right. We can't rush this.
Yeah.
We've got so much heavy psychological torment to cover.
Plus those gritty cliff edge physics, and of course that final epic green eye transformation.
Let's just dive right into the psychological torment, right at page 11. Because Gore-Shash is just relentless here.
He really is. He kicks Panko, literally steps on Parslee's hand to pin her down, and calls Panko a butterfly in a hurricane.
Which is such a brutally dismissive line.
It is. Okay, let's unpack this. Because Gore-Shash explicitly states he could end Panko with just a flick, but he doesn't.
No, he wants to draw it out.
Exactly. It's like a cat playing with a mouse. The true violence isn't even physical here. It's the systematic, deliberate dismantling of Parslee's psyche. He even mocks her hands for shaking with fear.
Yeah, what's fascinating here is how Gore-Shash completely weaponizes Parslee's helplessness.
Right.
Her initial reaction isn't to fight back. It's just pure suffocating grief. She lacks any real power to stop these agonizing blows, and he knows it.
He totally knows it. But, the psychological breaking point soon manifests into a literal physical brink for Panko.
Yeah. Moving into pages 16 through 18, we get to the cliff edge. Gore-Shash kicks Panko right to the edge of this massive ravine.
And Panko is skidding, he's barely breathing, but his fingers literally dig into the dirt as he starts to slowly, painfully crawl back.
And Gore-Shash just laughs it off. He calls it the end of her little fantasy.
Well, I want to push back on Gore-Shash's confidence there. The agonizing cliff edge physics of Panko's sluggish drag through the dirt, that is the ultimate catalyst.
Oh, for sure.
Because Panko's stubborn refusal to die actually hurts Parslee just as much as his injuries do. Seeing him push through that agony just breaks her heart.
If we connect this to the bigger picture, Panko's survival is what pushes Parslee's aura to start flickering. It turns into this jagged, highly unstable white energy.
Yeah, and Gore-Shash is so arrogant, he completely misses it.
It totally blinds him to the crucial shift happening right under his nose. He thinks he's won.
But he really hasn't. Which brings us to pages 19 and 20. That unstable white energy finally just shatters under the pressure of absolute despair.
It's such an intense visual. Her hair starts whipping around in this windless gale, and the ground actually craters beneath her.
And she feels this terrifying, cold surge of power. We get that extreme close-up on her face where her internal monologue just says, everything is breaking.
Yeah.
And then her iris flickers to that sharp electric green. So here's where it gets really interesting. Is Parslee herself breaking, or are her physical and mental limitations the things that are breaking?
That is the big question.
Yeah.
Right. Because notice the contrast here. This isn't your typical fiery, hot-headed rage that heroes get when they're pushed to the brink.
Right. It's explicitly cold.
Exactly. It's a cold power surge. The electric green iris signifies a complete, potentially super dangerous paradigm shift in her biology and her mindset.
It's a total transformation from victimization to this terrifying new awakening.
She's fundamentally changed.
Which leaves you with something really provocative to think about as we wrap this up. If this new green-eyed power is born from absolute cold despair rather than, typical righteous heroism, what does that mean for Parslee's moral compass moving forward?
Will she even still be the hero we recognize?
I guess we'll have to wait and see. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive.